Good afternoon, everybody. Well, when you talk about AI, first it gives me blinkers to start off with. But when you talk about the AI, today I think AI has become a prominent part in not only in the professional environment, but also from the personal perspective also. When you talk about in terms of the strategy, I think AI will play a very important role in the decision-making process. And one of the most critical point what I envisage is that the type of the data what we collect to come to any conclusion or to come to have any derivative. We talk about supervised data, we talk about unsupervised data, we talk about empirical data. But when you talk about having a strategy to be based where the decision making process could be simpler by using some AI algorithms and tools, it's very important for the quality of the data to be envisaged. And that quality of the data to be envisaged has to be authentic, reliable, accurate, and potentially viable for an organization to take any decision. When you talk from a 5G perspective point of view, and when you talk about AI integration, well, it's plays a very dual role. AI and 5G goes hand in hand. So when you talk about 5G, you talk about speed, you talk about efficiency, effectiveness. But when you talk about AI linking to the 5G, you talk more about the process by which the decision making becomes simpler. So AI with a combination of 5G together will involve or will evolve a strategy which will be helpful for better decision making process. I'll take something from Deepak because there was something which is left from the legal perspective.
थोड़ा सा और
Yeah. So when you are talking about that risk point, because I work in that domain, and when you talk about a risk, we still have a legal framework which is very fragile. That's something I think when we talk about AI, when we talk about a lot of technical jargons, I think the legal framework has to be set in place. That's something which we are lacking. That's a very big risk. Number two is that when you talk about any risk and the mitigation steps, I think as CISO and CIOs, I think first and foremost, we have to be holistic, and there should be a process of cyber drill to be taken place. I think today what happens is that if at all I want my system to be checked or audited by a third party, the first vulnerable person is me. I will not allow. Because if I do allow, then there will be some weaknesses which will be coming out of it. I think that holistic mind has to be there in place, that every system has got some lacunas, some shortcomings. And I think that positivity has to come within the CISO, CIO framework, that yes, there is something shortcomings. I'm telling you, from a judicial perspective, if there is something, a threat, it's very difficult to quantify and make the law enforcement and make the judiciary understand that I'm not responsible. There are some certain points in the legal framework. I'm not saying that we don't have a complete, a legal framework which is not at all there. There are. But those points, if we understand from a CISO and from a CIO perspective, and we have something, a AI tool, and if that AI tool doesn't give the result what was expected to be given, and which results in some certain unauthorized access or a hacking or some malware to be injected, and if at all I am an intermediary, the law says that I am responsible for that act. So under this point of view, if there is any threat which occurs because of any AI being malfunctioned, then the CIO and CISO are responsible for it.
Yeah.
So I think that has to be taken. That's security risk what we are talking from a cyber angle has to be quantified first from our side, and then going forward we have to be protected. That's why the legal framework has to get changed. The CIO and the CISO also has to be taken, they are human beings. And therefore, that particular framework also should help the fraternity, such as the risk mitigations can be done in a holistic manner. And then we talk about AI, cybersecurity, risk, all in place. So that question what you asked, Deepak, I was little tempted to take that question from him, and Jaspreet spoke both from the technical. So I said, let me add little legal tadka to it, you know. So that's what I just, I'm sorry, I took a little part from you, you know.